Good morning guys, today not wasting any time with business stuff, just straight to the studio to finally mix my new fall track. I got a new plugin and it's probably by far the best one in 2017 when it comes to mixing.
Is it you or is it me? I don't know, I just keep letting it go.
This plugin, I think 2 days ago. I tested it a bit on a couple of my tracks that I already mixed, and now I wanted to do the full first track where I use it entirely to mix it. I already did a version 2 days ago where I mixed it as I usually would do, just with the normal EQing, compression and all these kind of things you need for mixing. And today I'm making a second version just using this new plugin by iZOTOPE. It is called Neutron and is a special new plugin that was just made for mixing. I'm extremely picky when it comes to using new plugins. I have a lot of EQs, compressors, so I don't need another plugin that just does the same. I always make sure I'm using something that makes something different and has a new approach to things, and this Neutron plugin is definitely something entirely new, especially two features. One of them is that it's kind of analyzing your track and is suggesting you ways to EQ it and compress it. It's kind of creating presets for your material on the fly. And another special feature is that you can kind of mask other tracks with other tracks so that they don't interfere that much. It's pretty unique and solved in a very nice way. It's easy to use, so let's just jump right into the track and start mixing it. This right here is the Logic project of my fall track. It has now 46 tracks and I already mixed it 2 days ago. It sounds fine, it's all finished, but I will now bounce it out and then go back with the Logic feature where you can go back to previous versions, to the version where I still didn't do the mixing, and do it again just with the Neutron plugin, and at the end of the day just compare the two to see what difference this new plugin with all of its new features really does to the track. So this right here is the unmixed version. Let me play it to you.
But when you I try to breathe, is it you or is it me? I don't know, I just keep letting it go.
The track already sounds pretty decent, and that's actually what a track should sound like before you even start with the mixing. Most of the mixing happens when you select the right samples, the right sounds, put them into the right frequency, place kind of in the mix. If you just make a track with subby bass parts, there's no way you can balance it out if there's nothing else on the other side. Whenever I'm mixing a track, I go through all of the individual channels, listen to them solo, improve them with EQing, compression, and all other effects that might be necessary to get it where I want it to be. Then I listen again to the individual tracks with all of the other elements playing and further adjust it so that it sounds right in the mix. Today I will do the same, just instead of using my usual compressor and EQing, I will go with the Neutron plugin and probably end up with having it on almost all of the channels. That's at least what happened yesterday when I was testing it on another track of mine. So let's loop up the chorus part, just hit play and put the Neutron plugin at the end of the mastering chain, just to give you an overview how this thing is working. This right here is the interface. This looks super familiar if you know the iZOTOPE plugins. You have here at the top an equalizer, a compressor, a second compressor, an exciter, a transient shaper, and what I really love is that you get this visual feedback of whatever you're hearing and whatever is going on. The equalizer works like a normal one. You can boost frequencies, cut them away. The compressor has 3 bands that you can turn on and off and individually choose where you want the bands to be and individually control each one of them. The exciter also works in up to 3 bands, same goes with the transient shaper. But now let's get to the fun part and activate the track assist. It will now analyze for a couple of seconds the material and then decide and suggest me what to do with it. So for example, here in the equalizer you can see that it's kind of trying to lower the vocals here in this part whenever the singer is like hitting certain notes. It's also boosting the high end, and these are definitely things I can agree with. The vocals are a little bit too loud and the top end isn't really mixed well. It needs a little bit more of air. So let's turn off the neutron on the mastering chain. I want to use it on the individual tracks to have even more control over what is going on. So let's just start with the kick. It's one of the most important parts in electronic dance music. Let me play it to you without any of the neutron effects. So it now decided to boost here between 600 and 1000 Hertz, also cut away here at 600 and getting rid a little bit of the low end. Let's turn it off again. And on again. The change is subtle, but I can definitely agree with it. It cleans the kick a little bit, and if you do these small kind of things on 46 tracks, it will add up and you will end up with a way better mix. Let's go right into the piano sound. I really love what I have here. I usually use the grandeur from Native Instruments, which just sounds amazing without doing anything to it. So let's again hit the track assist. By the way, here in this drop down, you can tell it a little bit more specific what to do. You can change the mode from subtle to aggressive, and also use 3 different types of presets, but I will just go with the default and hit track assist again. As you can see here, it detected a frequency that is resonating and it's lowering it, but only whenever it is hitting. So it's kind of doing a very intelligent EQing. But let's listen to it without the neutron. And again with. It's also adding a little bit of compression to the piano sound. I'm very impressed by this plugin. It's really suggesting things that totally make sense. It's showing you where problems might be. You can then address them yourself, change things, dial down the mix if it's doing too much. But it's a really good starting point, way closer to what you will actually end up using than just using normal presets. Let's do another example here on top of the vocals of the track. Again, just hitting the track assist and pressing play.
I don't know, I just keep letting us go, go. It's time to know, and we both can finally grow, grow.
What I really like, it even detects what kind of material it is. It's telling me it's vocals, dialogue, and yeah, it really kind of picks up the resonant frequencies and is getting rid of them. So again, without it.
Go, I don't know,
and with.
just keep letting us go, go. It's time to know, and we both can finally grow, grow.
This boost in the high frequencies is definitely something I would have done myself. It's lacking here a bit, but these 3 changes here that are very specific for certain frequencies and just reacting whenever the frequency is playing, that's just something I would have never done without this plugin. It's something that's really nice to get as a suggestion. This plugin really opens up a whole nother world, especially for beginners. I always say mixing is something that comes down to having a lot of experience, because the circumstances always change. If you just have another kick, another singer, the mixing is totally different. But with this plugin, it helps you so much with the analyzing that it will be really useful. I will now apply a whole lot more of these onto all of the tracks and dive in deeper into the plugin, adjust everything to my liking, and try to get this song and the mixing of the song as far as possible. all done with the mixing. The difference to the other mix of the same track that I did is quite subtle, but especially in the low end you can hear a big difference, and that has all to do with the second feature of this plugin, that is this masking feature. So let's, for example, take the bass and the kick. That's always something that is quite hard to mix. I have here now two instances opened of Neutron. One is on the kick, the other one on the bass. And if you now hit here this masking button, you can select all of the other neutrons you have in your project. I'm now selecting here the bass, and you can see here in the bottom part you get the EQ of the bass. So any change you do here, it will also be represented in the other section. And now if I let both of them play, you can see here these gray areas show me where both of them are masking. Also here in the top, you can dial down the sensitivity a bit to see it more clearly. So every time the kick hits, it's kind of masking with the bass. You can now select the frequency band and just get rid here of the frequencies in the kick and make more room for the bass, but it would make more sense to carve out the bass to have more room for the kick. And with this inverse link function, whenever you boost a frequency on one element, it lowers it directly on the other one, so that you kind of get rid of any masking. And what I also really love is you can just bypass all of the EQing and listen to it without the Neutron and then again with. This feature is super helpful. It was never that easy to mix the kick and bass. You can do also the same maybe for the guitar and the vocals. So whenever someone is singing, the guitar gets lowered in the frequencies where the singer is active, so that the two are not colliding that much. This will free up a lot of space in your mix. It's kind of always carving something out when something else is in the foreground. So a very unique feature that I haven't seen in any other plugin and would be a nightmare to do otherwise. So really handy, makes the mixing a lot faster. There are a lot more nice features. For example, here you can use the dynamic mode, so the EQ is reacting to the signal. You can turn on and off the sidechain and use other sources to feed it. You have here a history function. You can go back any step. You can set them to A and B, compare them immediately. And of course there are also a ton of presets you can choose from. Using this plugin is almost feeling like cheating. That's how good it is. If you're interested to really hear the difference, I will upload to my SoundCloud page two small sections out of the track. One that I mixed 2 days ago, where I just used my traditional mixing method and mixing plugins, and a second version, the one that I did today with the Neutron plugin. And I think especially in the low end you will hear that kick and bass are masking less each other. The links will be, as always, down below in the description. I will also put there a link where you can download a test version of the plugin and just try using it and see for yourself if it will improve your mixing. In the upcoming remix contest of my Dawning track that I will announce probably in a couple of days, you will be able to win a version of this plugin. There will be also a lot more to win from iZOTOPE. I'm really happy that they're part of this, supporting me, supporting the remix contest, and at the end also you. Another big advantage is that the mixing just goes a lot faster. I think this is the first time within the past 2 weeks that I'm heading back home this early, which is really nice, so I get the opportunity to spend more quality time with my girlfriend. There's just this one downside. Now that I have more time, I have to go grocery shopping, which is a lot of fun, so thanks iZOTOPE.